So now we need to ask a question. It doesn't matter what time, what year, 2000 years, this time, what's the worst corruption that we can have? Not easy to answer. Because usually when we think about corruption, we talk about governments and big companies or whatever, you know. No, I'm not talking about that. Think about what's the worst corruption. Okay? So we call it midat hatzniut. Okay, so what does it mean midat hatzniut? It means the kind of the attribute of humility, to be more humble. We lost it. There is no humility. It's 24/7 ego. We don't even see it as ego because the ego takes over. And again, ego is not about show off. Ego is blocking me from seeing the person in front of me, the family in front of me, the world in front of me, the neighborhood, anything. We don't see it. We are so busy with everything, just what I need to do. So where's the humility? And that's really what happened and more. We're going to get to it soon. Because the sentence in the Torah says, Ki ishchit kol basar et darko al haaretz. That everything that it's a flesh, meat, everything totally corrupted, totally on this globe. Globe, totally. So what does it mean, corrupt? Kol basar. In Hebrew, basar, you know, the flesh that we have and the meat of the animals. I mean, just so he's talking about something that it's a really different language, okay? And I know they translate it different ways, but the thing is that what they are talking about is that different families, and unfortunately, sometimes you hear it even in this time, different families, they get mixed together. The husband with the different one, and they mixed, not once, again and again, and different. What happened then, it was men and men, women, animals and people. That was the worst of the worst. That's why they call it meat. I mean, that's why the Torah talks about it in such a harsh way. Okay, and it says in the Torah that we started that. It means human beings started that, and we actually affected the animals. It means animals start to have different kind of interaction sexually, but with different animals. Something that doesn't happen with animals. But it did happen. And all the animals start to behave totally corrupted because we made them corrupt, imagine. And the whole family institution got totally destroyed because of the mixed between all the energies, between people, between different people with animals and everything. That's really what happened. So we call it ta'ava החליפה את האהבה. אהבה, it's love. Ta'ava in Hebrew, listen to the word ta'ava, ahava. Ta'ava means lust. Okay? So when you say lust, wow, this is really what happened. Yes, we became totally corrupted. The mind about everything. We didn't see right or left. And God says, Kadosh Baruch Hu, God says, okay, I can see that we cannot fix it. So I have to erase it. Okay? So he wants to erase everything, and he's telling Noah, okay, he says, listen, Noah, we need to erase everything. We have to start from the beginning. Vayomer, I'm reading from the Torah. Vayomer Elokim leNoach, קץ כל בשר בא לפניי, כי מלאה הארץ חמס מפניהם ואינני משחיתם את הארץ. So let's understand this sentence. Okay, Vayomer Elokim, God talked to Noach and he says, the end, it means the total destructions is happening, that's Hamas, is in front of me, I see it, it's totally getting destroyed. And because it was so corrupted, I'm gonna totally erase it and remove everybody from this earth. Okay. So when it says mashchit, it means corrupt, but mashchit is also like to cut it from the roots. It means to remove it. It's many words, mashchit. Okay? Like when you want to destroy something, there is a little bit destruction, there is a little more, there is total, and there is a way that it will never be back as it was. Like it's gone. That's mashchit. So the minute the people behaved with hashchata, it means with corruption, it means God used the same word to remove everybody and to start all over again. So it means cause and effect. We caused that, and that's by itself telling us something very unique. Everything that happened in this world, we need to understand it as not God doing it, because it says, don't forget, last week it says, Vayachal Elokim et kol melachto asher asa. God finished his job. Everything that's happening now, it's our act. It's our responsibility. It's our part because we are partners with God in creation. He did his part, we have to do our part. He did all good, and we have to keep it. And here, we need to kind of understand it, okay? So let's say a person will corrupt, something gonna happen to him similar, means corruption. Someone is talking bad about someone, other people gonna talk bad about you. You gonna judge, you will be judged. So it means cause and effect. That's what the Torah is saying, this portion, that God didn't use something else. He used exactly what we did. So in a way, God didn't do it, we did it. Okay? Because why they called this person Noah? Why they call him? It says, Noach ish tzaddik bedorotav. Noah was a righteous person in his generation. What does it mean? The word Noach in Hebrew, if you don't know Hebrew, it means comfortable. We cannot be comfortable. It doesn't matter in what area of our lives. Even if it's relationship, it's work, constant work. If it's health, constant work. I cannot just do a little diet or a little this and then stop. It's a way of life. If a person is doing anything, you have to put the effort, the same effort, not lesser. Always to step up, not down. Always to upgrade ourselves as we would like to upgrade the house, the car, the computer, whatever we have, we need to be upgrade too. Every time we have a new year, we have to be new too. Can't be the year is new. There's no year, it's just time. The world is turning. I have to be new. So our mind really got corrupted. And that's what we need to understand here. And that's what it means. If I do something wrong, the payment is the same, not something else. Okay? So God telling Noah, it's not enough just to remove and to destroy the world and start from the beginning. It's not enough. What's the guarantee that the next generation that's going to be okay or going to be better? What's the guarantee? So then God telling Noah, listen, we gonna remove everything. We gonna erase the entire world. But what we're gonna do, we need to teach whoever stays. We need to teach the true way. We need to teach the holy way. We need to teach what's love, what does it mean relationship, and what does it mean family. Okay, one of the most important things that makes a person kind of okay and balanced and strong is family. Okay, so it's not something new, but we need to understand that how we create, because we are still in the book of Bereshit. So the whole book, it's like to create. I need to create myself every day from the beginning. מחדש בטובו בכל יום תמיד מעשה בראשית. I have to create a relationship, the health, everything again and again. And we get lazy and complacent. And we did something and then we forget, or we don't continue anymore. We need to understand what it is. So why the Torah using now in this time, in this portion, why they didn't use Abraham, Isaac, Jacob? Those names came later. For us, it's just names. No. Noah means comfortable. We cannot be comfortable. There is no such a thing.
But Ronnie, why does that mean? If why is it saying that Noach was comfortable in his generation? Was he bad? He's not bad. He wasn't comfortable.
You see, Noah never tried himself, like we do also, try to save the world. He didn't try. God had to tell him. See, we sometimes need to do something, we don't do it until someone tells us, and maybe not for sure, I'm going to do it too. That means comfortable. It means to get to really help. It means, let's say we are in United States, okay? The federal had to force some countries in United States to give supplies that they are keeping for themselves, even if they didn't need it. So, but when we do help people after disaster, no one says anything. Different countries come and they help. Why can we help proactively before, even ourselves, by the way? That's the way we behave. First we do what we do and then we want to fix it. Why can't I spend a little bit time and money, whatever, to be healthy instead of waste my life for the money and then I have to use the money to save me? I mean, something is wrong here. So that's why it says Noah, and it's like, it's a good question what you asked, but we need to understand that, many of us, we want to be comfortable. Many of us, I would say most people in the world, okay? And they're either waiting for it to happen. So many people trying to think this way. If I'll have this profession, or I'll do this and this, maybe by this time I'm going to be comfortable. In the end, something is wrong. They call it the golden age, right? By the time that the person is the golden age, he moves to Florida because that's it. He can't fly much, he can't move much. When we are young, we have to enjoy this world. Not to work, 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 work. In the end, we're going to say, okay, let's see when I'm going to be comfortable. So something wrong with the way we think about comfortable, okay? The effort is always, they call this word the word of action. It means makom avodah. Makom avodah, it's not the work where a person goes to work to maintain his physical life. To work, it means effort to put into love, into care, to put someone else in front of me, not always me, me, me. So God says to Noah, listen, this got totally corrupted. So let's build a teva. It means the ark. Okay. So he says, but you cannot build this ark just for you and your kids. You have to see something in the Torah that it's amazing, that I never saw it before. This portion talks about Noah and his kids. It says the word wife, but it says even about the animals. Soon I'm going to read it, and you'll see that it says that the animals also had to come. It says ish ve'ishto. I mean, how can you read about animal ish? Ish, it's a man and his wife. We need to understand that also, why they use those words. And then they didn't mention the word family only after the flood. So I'm giving you a hint, and let's study it, and you'll see why the Torah is so amazing. But to understand it, not just to read it, it's to understand that what really is going on here. Okay, so it says, it's not only for you, it's to bring into the ark, lateva, from all the animals, birds, whatever, it's everything. But you have to bring this way: 7 male, 7 female from the pure animals. So already they're telling us pure. What does it mean? We don't even ask those questions because our mind got used to whoever, let's say, eating kosher or whatever. Oh, those pure, okay. But they say pure. They didn't say kosher animal. What makes one animal more pure? Because it says tehorot, pure. Zachar v'nekeva, male and female. And then you have to bring 2 male and 2 female from the one that are not pure, the impure animals. Male and female, 2 and 2. From the pure, 7, 7. Soon we'll understand. So it says there is no way for male animal or female by itself going to come to the ark. No way. Have to be this way. I'm going to read now from the Torah. ומכל החי, מכל בשר, 2 תביא לתיבה להחיות איתך, זכר ונקבה יהיו. So the beginning sentence, it says, it have to be male and female that you have to bring. It didn't talk yet about the 7, just male and female. Now, he's telling us, מכל הבהמה הטהורה, that's the sentence of the Torah. מכל הבהמה הטהורה, all the animal that is pure, you'll take 7 and 7, ish ve'ishto. If you know Hebrew, it doesn't make sense. Ish ve'ishto, it's animals. Okay? ומן הבהמה, אשר לא טהורה, and from the animal that impure, 2, ish veishto. Okay, so male and female. So it doesn't say also, bring your family into the ark. Listen to what it says. Ubata el ateva, ata ubanecha veishtecha, venashei banecha itcha. You come to the ark, you, your sons, your wife. They don't say you and your wife. You'll understand soon why. It doesn't make sense. It says you and your sons, your wife, and the wives of your sons. So if you understand, really, they already been said, you have to be separated. Male and female cannot be together. Not the animals and not people. I never saw it. Yeah, because you read it like a story, animals, but this year that I decided to see where is love in every portion, it's unbelievable. So it means all of them came into the ark, kind of ish ve'isha, it means like married. Think about it. Even the animals, they say ve'isha. But here the Torah says about wonderful harmony that everyone had to be far away between male and female. It means not even a touch. Nothing. You'll see what happened. It's not just I'm going to destroy the world. I'm going to teach you while you are in the ark. I'm going to teach you something. So let's continue. You'll see it's so beautiful. So the male were separated from the female, include, I said, animals, for 1 year. If you didn't know, the whole thing of the flood, it says dates and everything. It was 1 complete year. Imagine, from the beginning of the flood until the end of the flood, it was 1 year. Here the Torah is want to teach us real love. And when we say real, amiti, means doesn't change. If you know in Hebrew, emet, it means it doesn't change. It's always the same. That's called emet, real love, emet, amiti. Real relationship that are based not on physical attraction and not any touch. That's what God wanted to teach after the flood. So the love supposed to be based on what? Mutual responsibility, mutual support, and also based on willingness to really invest in someone else, in the other one, it means, okay? Without touch, just love and consciousness without any physicality. And to help each other, it's a hard time. Don't forget. It was rain. It was such a powerful rain. It was flood all over the world. The ark was the only thing that existed. So imagine it's not an easy time, okay? And the flood, don't forget, it's so crowded. I mean, think about it. Those 3 families, they don't say the word families, the 3 kids of Noach had 3 wives, him and his wife, okay? And all the animals, 7 from the pure, 2 from the non-pure. So imagine, it's crowded, okay? It's not easy. If you have any pets at home, it's not so easy to have so many for 1 year. You can't even leave. I need the air. There's no windows. So think about it, what's happening. together inside the ark without any physical touch. So after this destruction, okay, we actually learning to help each other. Think about it, what we said before. When do we help each other? At the time of destruction. I was in Israel at the time that it was 6-day war, very famous. When a soldier used to hitchhike, 6 cars used to stop in one time. I mean, choose which one. Today, you can put your hands, your head, your legs in the air, no one stops. Okay? So I know I live in Israel, at least I told you, 6th generation Israel. It's not so, no one helps anybody. But in the time of disaster, my God, we are the best. Why? Why can we be the best with love? When did we receive the state of Israel? After the Holocaust. So, just think about it. So after destruction, we're learning to help each other, to cheer, to support, But now everybody were really helping each other, even with the animals and everything. They're together, hard time. God gave them the opportunity to learn how to be together, to create love from the beginning without the physicality because of what happened before. Don't forget, they did whatever they want between people and animals, people and people. They did anything they want. So it got so corrupted, it was totally destroyed. So now he says, yes, I'm going to start a new world, but I'm going to teach you to be together in a close place, not easy, crowded, and you're going to support each other with love, and you're going to learn what's love. And that's really the whole thing about the ark, okay? Not so easy, so crowded, everything, yes, but we can reveal each other from the beginning. Now think about it. People live together. Okay, so we don't have the flood, but people live together. What happened in the beginning of any relationship? It's unbelievable. It's beautiful. Honey, all the beautiful words. Okay. What happened after? It depends. Some people longer, some people, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's like, wow, we get used to each other. We start to go down. Now, it depends on the person. Some people looking outside to the grass of the neighbor. Okay, so and so on. So why we get used to each other? Why we get used to anything? It doesn't matter what it is. By the way, if a person praying because habits, he gets nothing. I read it last time, if you remember, in the gift of the Bible. It says nothing. You can pray like, it's like something that you have to do, a check mark. I prayed already. No. So every week, I advise people every week, at least once a week, once, to date your partner like you don't know the person. It means you go clean mind. Not easy, because we know so much about each other and the mind is not clean and it's judging. We don't say it, but we do. Sometimes they do commercials on TV that someone comes to the meeting, they sit in a restaurant and they tell each other whatever they want to. and that's not easy to do. But I'm not saying to destroy each other, but to date each other every time from the beginning. It's supposed to grow and grow and grow like a tree. Not supposed to change every time we change from one kind of a love to a different love, going up and down and whatever, and we lie to each other in different ways. That's not love. So to reveal each one from the beginning. So now, how do we do that? Okay, so the Torah is saying at the time of the ark, okay, let's say even an animal hit one of the kids of Noah. So the wife's supposed to come and say, it's okay. But it's nothing to do with being together. We are not together, but I'm going to support you. And I'm going to give you some strength. Because really, when we always say, when we are really good friends, when we are good friends, we are good friends not at the easy times. Really, we want to see if someone is my good friend at the hard time. Because in the good time, no big deal. And that's not easy. It's not. So here, when we say to reveal each other from the beginning, we need to ask, how do we do it? So we do it. First, to strengthen the other person. It's supposed to be mutual strength. It means I give you strength, you give me strength. And then spiritual support. And when we say spiritual, it doesn't mean religious. Spiritual, it means that the person knows that the person in front of me, he's a nefesh, ruach, and neshama. He's a soul. It's supposed to be spiritual support. Okay? What happens when a person is going through mental crush? We don't say it in Hebrew, mental, we say nefesh. When a person is kala, it's like, so what do we need to do? We can't give that person something physical. We have to give support that's supposed to be spiritual. Because when the nefesh collapses, who can feed the nefesh? Not nefesh, ruach. And ruach, it means the root word for spirituality, ruhaniyut. So we say spiritual support. It's from heart to heart. And they say that people get healed faster when family visit them, when their friends coming to see them. Look what the corona did. Sometimes people were in the hospital alone and no one can even come inside. You know how hard it is? It was an article in Israel that a doctor had his mother, she had a corona in his hospital where he works. But then something happened and they had to remove the mother to a different hospital. You won't believe what happened. In the meantime, the mother died. He's so busy with the corona patients, and he could not even go to see her because they isolate her. And she died by herself. You know how terrible is this? And when it was so bad in the beginning, people couldn't even go and say Kaddish. No minyan. It's to teach us what? It's to teach us that when it's good, we're supposed to maintain the good. And something like that, naturally, we don't do. Okay, we don't. We come to help after disaster. And that's why it says, how do I reveal my partner, my friend, my husband, my wife, my kids? It doesn't matter who. How do I reveal them from the beginning? Is by mutual strength, mutual spiritual kind of helping, supporting, supposed to be that I see the person, even if a person made mistake, I have to say to myself, you know what, person made mistake, but I still love the person. See, if not, we become victims. And that's the whole thing that happened inside the ark. It was real love, nothing to do with any touch of any body attractions, nothing. And it became real family. And you'll see how the Torah talks about it as we go. Okay, so actually, if I look today, first time, at the Ark of Noah, it was kind of like a family treatment ark, because all those animals were families, but they didn't use the word family yet because of the corruption that happened and why the flood had to happen in the first place is because of what they did so bad, the Hamas. So now when they are inside, yes, male, female, they are married, like it says Ish ve'isha, but the ark became like a treatment ark. Amazing. I mean, think about it. I mean, now I have to be, they have in Israel this show, Ha'ach HaGadol, the Big Brother. They put people together in the same house with cameras and this, and it's sometimes a disaster. I don't know if you watched it. One of my students in Israel went to it. It was unbelievable. Anyway, so it's not easy to be together, and it's not just human being, animals too. Take not seven and insects. Take only one or two or three animals, and take the big ones too. Put it in your house and see if you can you exist. How long? So actually, the ark it's to help us, like to give us the treatment, to reveal ourselves from the beginning, to reveal each other from the beginning, to understand what's love. So when they came from the ark, think about it. When they came, kasher yatzu, when they came out from the teva, it says in the Torah, the first time. That's the first time in the Torah, the word lemishpachotehem yatzu min hateva. First time they use the word mishpacha, family. Since this time, it was after they used to say the word family. But before the ark, before this treatment of the ark, it was not even one time the word family. Very important to understand it. It was the first time that the word family been mentioned in the Torah, and then after that, many times. So it means family based on mutual help. It means, let's say, couples, okay? I really see that you have a hard time with this and that. Let's call it tikkun. I'll help you with your tikkun. You're going to help me with my tikkun. That's family. Not getting upset when I see the tikkun of my friend or husband or wife or kids. No, I'm helping you with it. I'll support you, especially in the hard times. We're going to build each other. That's building the ark. We're going to build each other. We are building family, like people do a family tree. We are building it. And don't forget that the word love, in the beginning, what we studied last week, it says, Vayer v'yiboker yom echad. It was day one. It didn't say first day. Not Yom Rishon, day one, it says. And one, numerical value of 13, means love. Love supposed to be one. We're supposed to be one, not just two all the time. Two, it's separation. We have to be one. I will complete you, and you're going to complete me. We don't see the defect of each other. Because when you see the defect in someone else, it means you have it. There is a very ancient sentence, הפוסל במומו פוסל. When you see the defect in someone else, it's only because you have it, and that's that sentence. So in English, they don't say it this way. They say it takes one to know one. That's what the English say. We say הפוסל במומו פוסל. When you disqualify, posel, it's like this, X. When you posel someone, you are actually posel your defect. Bemumo posel. Okay, so if I don't have that mum, that handicap in me, I cannot see this handicap in anybody. And that's why it says it takes one to know one. It's pretty good, you know. I like the Hebrew language, even if I used to hate this language, but now I found it. It's unbelievable. This language is like more we can handle. And then it says something beautiful in this also portion. After the flood, you know, when they came out and the word family mentioned the first time, God said, I'm not going to do this disaster anymore. I'm not going to flood this world anymore. And just for you to know, I'm going to give you the rainbow. And just to remind you that I promised not to destroy the world again. Okay, called Keshet, that's rainbow. So how the sentence is. The Torah says, והקימותי את בריתי איתך, ובאת אל התיבה, אתה ובניך ואשתך ונשי בניך. I'm gonna do my contract with you. So people have to know when they do Brit, it's actually covenant. It means contract. It's a new contract between the new baby. It means the soul of the baby. When the soul has to come back to finish the tikkun, the soul always swear, this time I'll do it as I'm supposed to do it. So when a person comes, only the male have to be a new contract. See, the female don't have. It's a new contract because the male have to do the tikkun. Because Adam left Eve for 130 years. And that's the reason, by the way, why we say the Barich Shemeh when we open the ark. Everywhere in the world, whoever opened the ark to take the Torah out, they recite, or whatever, the Barich Shemeh. And you won't believe how many words in the Barich Shemeh? 130. Why 130? Because 13 is love, time 10 sfirot through all the levels, it's 130. We received the Torah on Mount Sinai, right? When you write Sinai, Samech Yud, Nun Yud, it's also 130. Okay? When you wake up in the morning and you do the blessing of Netilat Yadayim, you know how many words? 13. It means we say, my hands are clean. It means I'm not going to do something against anybody. I have love in me. That's the Netilat Yadayim. Not just to wash it and to feel like, wow, I did what God told me. No. So the minute we understand what it says here in this portion also, there is a contract. I'm going to create now new contract with you, Brit Itchem, with all of you, and all your essence that's going to come after you, all the people that are going to be burned from you. Okay? And that means the whole thing, it's lahakim. You know, in Hebrew we say lahakim mishpacha. I don't know if you know. Lahakim mishpacha, that's how we say, to raise a family. And that's why God used the word v'hakimoti. It means I'm going to build it. This contract between you and me, it's going to be to build, to raise, to establish. the foundation of family. And that's why the word brit is not just what people think, circumcision. Brit, it's a contract. Contract, it means love. It's a condition. It's a commitment. It's a promise. It cannot change. And then it says, a sentence in the Torah, listen to it, it's amazing. Ele toldot bnei Noach. This is the lineage of bnei Noach. Shem, Ham, Yafet. Those are the three kids. I mean, for us, it's like, oh, he had three kids, those names. Why they have to tell us? And then it says, Vaivaldu lahem banim. They had sons that been born ahara mabul, after the mabul. So they already giving us a hint of what we already said, the whole class. They couldn't have kids. They couldn't have any touch in the ark. Only after, to love each other for 1 year, to support each other for 1 year, to help each other for 1 year with nothing, no physicality, just spiritual support. And that's why it says in the end of the portion, after the Mabul, after the flood, they have kids. So who is Shem, Ham, and Yafet? Look how simple it is. When you say hating the Jews, well, how they call it in English? Anti-Semitic. We say it in Hebrew, anti-Shem. Shem. Shem, it's the seed level of all the Israelites and all the Jews. That's why until today they use the word Shem. Anti-Shem. Anti-Semitic. Shem. The second one, Ham, is all the Muslims. Ham, it means hot, by the way. That's his name. It's hot. Always creating chaos. And the third one, the third kid, his name was Yafet. It means beautiful. Okay? So those are the people in this world. They look good, but it's not about the vessel. It's just about the look. So they're telling us how the world will start from those three groups. And those kids gonna multiply all over the world, and that's where it's gonna be. Shem, it's gonna be Ham, and it's gonna be Yafet. And if you look, that's exactly what's happening in this world, even today, those three groups. Okay? And that's the families, and that's to create love from the beginning. So this portion, it's to teach us even today. That's why we read the Torah again and again and again, to recreate ourselves from the beginning, to create love even after disaster, and to support, to cherish, strength, anything. Just do it because of love. Because God, when we say Yud Kevavke, numerical value, it's 26. His part, he gives all the time love, it's 13. Our share is love is 13. When you take love of God and love of us and we put them together, it becomes Yud Kevavke 26. That's really what it is. That's why if you read the Siddur, before you do Shema, it says Be'ahava. Always. Before the Shema, there is the word Be'ahava. It means with love. And we get used to it and we don't see it anymore. We just put the hand on the eyes and we say Shema Israel and we think we are holy. Okay. So any question? This is really amazing. We're going to find love in every portion. It has to be. If not, Hillel and Rabbi Akiva, I don't think they made mistake. The biggest scholar ever existed in this world. So if they said, we need
Sorry, Ronnie, where do the Notzrim, where do they come, the Christian? Are they Yafet?
Yeah. Yafet.
Oh, Edom also, and all of them?
Yeah, no, actually Ham is also Edom. You know, even if they are not Muslims, Ham, it's all the ones that doing hat. Means they create like Hamas, it's also start with Het. See, if you look at the Hamas, the first two letters is Ham,
Wow.
Hama, and then Samech. Okay? So Edom, by the way, it's Germany. So all the people in the world, group of people, even if there are different kind of names that created disaster over time, they are Ham. Yafet is just beautiful. The flowers, nice, they look physically good. They can be empty inside, but that's Shem, it's all about the vessel. Okay, when you take Shem, write the word neshama, Nun, Shin, Mem, the middle two letters is Shem. Okay, so the Shem is something very important. That's why we say Baruch Hashem. Okay, so in a way, it's also the name of God, but it's also the vessel called Shem. That's why we say Hu, it means God with no limitation, Echad, Ushmo, Shem, Shmo, Echad. So if we just look at even Sidur, and people really gonna look into a Sidur, they'll find that the entire system of this world inside the Sidur. That's why they call it Sidur, from the word order, to bring order, not chaos.
And what about the Asians?
Can you also just quickly explain, there's a part in this parsha, I haven't read it for a while, where they see the father and then he covers his father because his father
Right. Okay.
sex with someone.
So the Torah, it's a beautiful question. The Torah is telling us this: just because you decided, let's say anybody decided that, okay, I'm going to create myself, I'm going to create the love, I'm going to do it. It doesn't mean that after you do it, there is no more mistakes, or there is always, it's going to be from now on good. It's going to be still some kind of like aftershock, you know, it's going to be some things that's going to happen. And to teach us that because what happened before, don't forget, it happened before. They did, we call it sex, in all kind of forms, animals, people, this, that. So it was already man and man. He was not clean. He actually did it to his father because he was still, and to teach us two things. One, those kind of things you'll see through lifetimes. And a person have to correct it if he wants to correct it. So the Torah, if you know, we say Torat Emet, the Torah of the truth. The Torah never lied to us, by the way. The Torah tells us things as is, not sugarcoating anything. For example, you'll see later on that talks about Abraham. What to talk about Abraham? His father is idol worshiper, the biggest ever that was in this time. Okay, so they don't sugarcoat it and they tell us, oh, the father of Abraham was a tzaddik. No, totally the worst. Okay, so we need to understand why they're telling us, because you see, because of Abraham, of idol worshiping, yes, he moved forward, but he started only when he's 75. But don't forget, who came out of him? Ishmael. So you see, now part of the Ham came out of Abraham. And what happened to his child, Isaac? Another residue, a little bit more. So Esau also had to come. So it got cleaned slowly. Jacob also had one big episode, right? The kids threw Joseph to the pit. And Dinah in Hebrew, it means judgment. So it was. So it's the Torah telling us, don't think that you decided to be good, you're not going to have any episode. You might be good, but from time to time, you get upset and you go a little down, maybe not too low as you were before, but you used to have ups and downs, huge ones. Now you have little ones. That's what really, it's not a flood, it's a little thing. But they are not lying to us. See, they could write a nicer story, no? Why they tell us about Cain that killed his brother? They could say he kissed his brother.
And what's the connection with the Tower of Babel?
The same thing. Same thing. We decided now, oh wow, we creating everything from the beginning. We're gonna reach God all the way. Okay. See, that's what we're doing, by the way, now. There is a synagogue in Mexico, I don't know if you heard about it, that people donated $50 million to build it. 50 million. And there is not only, forget Corona, this got built about, I think, 8 or 9 years ago. There is not even people coming to pray. It means we still build towers of God. We don't need the building, we need the heart. So the whole thing about it, it's like, oh, you want us to be with you? Let's build the tower to get to you. He says, no, I don't need this. And later on, you'll see that the Torah tells us, later on, build me the tabernacle, build me the mikdash. It means the holy temple where? Within you. So the Torah is like a tree. Bereshit, it's the seed level, and it starts growing this tree and growing and growing. Like we don't say for nothing tree of knowledge, good and bad, or tree of life. So the beginning, and then through the Torah, you see all the branches. You see everything that it's in the book of Bereshit. You'll see it growing and to different branches through the Torah. You'll see it. And that's really because when God asked Adam, where are you? In Hebrew is Ayeka. That's so no one pay attention. Ayeka, it means the scroll of Eicha after the destruction. It's already done. With Adam and Eve it started. So the word Eicha. So really? Yes, it was already done. Okay, so the sin of Adam and Eve to listen to the negativity that they had within them. It's not something that God created. So we need to understand God created only good. We experience the bad things when there is too much energy and the person cannot handle it. It becomes overwhelming. It becomes negative. So I hope we understand it as we go. It's like this month, they say it's Mar, it's bitter month. No, it's not. It's supposed to be elevated, Ram. We have to switch those two letters. It means we have to be partners with creation, and we have to understand that there is no such thing. It's not coming from God, the bitterness. It's coming from the people. Why a person is bitter? Because something good happened and now it's not. So now I'm bitter. And if you didn't have it that good, you wouldn't be bitter. Okay? So all the things that we're going through is the Torah is trying to teach us how to really start to see the world in the right colors, not with the glasses that we put, each one seeing it differently. Everyone lives in his own world. So that's why it was Babel. Babel, it means confusion, if you didn't know, in Hebrew. That's the meaning of the word. Bilbul, Babel, means confusion. And look at us even today. So many people, I ask them, what really you want? I don't know. When are you going to know? I mean, you understand? That's why we don't reach places that we can, is because I don't know. I need to know. Okay? It says, Adam yada et Hava. Yada, he knew. And then they had 2 kids. To know, it means there is connection to know. When we put tefillin, in the end, we say, V'yadata et Hashem. We know. It doesn't say, I believe, it's to know. We put tefillin, whoever put tefillin, listen to what you say when you put all the strap over your hand. V'yadata et Hashem. And what's the first word? Ve'arastich li la'olam. I'm engaged to you forever, to this light, to this Shekhinah. So it's all there. It's all right there in front of us. And confusion, it's not good. By the way, when we say in Hebrew cancer, we say sartan. Sartan in Hebrew, it means to remove the confusion. Confusion creates the cancer. When the cells get confused because the way a person behaves. Not simple. We think that just everything is random. I don't know why that person is sick, why this, what. There's no such a thing. Nothing is random. Everything is cause and effect. You understand, Robin? Confusion, that's Babel.
Gotcha. Thank you.